What's going on out there? Arthur Rashad here. Road to Exoneration, Daniel Coleman's story, part number 4. Baby, just got off vacation, Outer Banks for a whole week. Time to get back to it. All right. The book Fatherless Son is available now. ArthurRashad.com. AuthorRashod.com. You can go on and pre-order the book. The book will be available November 1st. The train is moving. If you want to be a part of this group, you can subscribe if you like. If not, don't worry about it. Just come on back and take a look at it. So we're still looking at Daniel Coleman, part 4. If you haven't watched part 3, part 2, and part 1, I would encourage you to go back and watch it. It's a very, very interesting story. Not only because it's my family member, but it's truly one of those true crime stories. So again, he was arrested for 2 crimes on that night. He was arrested for a kidnapping, and he was arrested for the rape of a 78-year-old woman. So what we were trying to figure out is, well, if you were arrested for both crimes on that night, why weren't you then charged with both crimes on that night? And there's an explanation to why he wasn't charged with both crimes on that night. Police, according to the police report, lifted 8 latent fingerprints off of the living room window of the victim at 330 East Main Street. So if you look right here, 330 East Main Street, all right, what police allege happened was that the suspect tried to get into the neighbor's door before he got into the rape victim's window. He tried to get into the window. They were able to lift fingerprints from the neighbor's window and lift fingerprints from the rape victim's window. Compared the fingerprints came back positive, so they knew it was the same person. Now, they took those fingerprints and they alleged that Daniel Coleman then went into interrogation and admitted to both crimes, the kidnapping and the rape. When they compared Daniel Coleman's fingerprints to the fingerprints of the suspect at 330 East Main Street, they said it was a no-go. The fingerprints did not match. They were able to gather 8 fingerprints from that particular scene. So at that point, they sent the FBI fingerprints to see if the FBI might be able to compare them and see any positive match. FBI said the same thing on March 2nd, 1987, which is that it wasn't a match. That's a good thing, because that shows that the detective was doing his job, doing his due diligence. So he went to Main Street, got the fingerprints, no match, that's fine. That same detective went to the vehicle of the car that Daniel Coleman allegedly was in and allegedly had kidnapped the female at, right? Those fingerprints were actually gathered also. It was 9 fingerprints, 8 fingerprints and 1 palm print was lifted from that vehicle. Those fingerprints were also sent to the FBI, but coincidentally, those fingerprints results are not inside of the police report. So we had to figure out a way to get those results from that vehicle in which the FBI received them. We have confirmation of, but there was this little process that I'll explain next week that we had to take in order to get the results to that. So not only that, at that same night, there were 3 individuals at the ATM when the female that got kidnapped and the suspect got into the vehicle that police were able to catch up to and interview. Not only that, if you remember from part 3, when the woman jumped out of the vehicle, there were also 3 people at the scene, at the Domino's, that said they seen the suspect and they seen the victim. So you have 3 witnesses. Next week, we'll talk about what those witnesses said. We'll talk about what those witnesses said in court. And we'll talk about if they even went to court in the first place. Again, Arthur Rashad here. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Thank you for everybody that's pre-ordered the book. All my family, all my friends, people from Varnville, Sacramento, the West Side. Thank you so much. I really think you're going to love the book. And it's a very insightful story for somebody that grew up without a father and that the justice system had affected in such an enormous way. So take care of yourself, love others, be blessed, baby. Arthur Rashad, take care.